This is Cynthia Booth. She's the owner of Glass Earth Inc.
Hi.
Thank you so much for having us here today. We're so excited.
I'm a horticulturalist, so I've been dealing with plants most of my life. We've been in the mall now for 4 years. Yeah. So, and we just want to keep growing.
Excellent. And I believe you have a store in Vancouver as well, right?
We have a store in Vancouver as well, yes.
Fantastic. Probably one of my favorite places to stop in. It's like tropical oasis in the middle of Edmonton, so everyone should definitely come down. But today we're going to be specifically looking at some of the plants that Cynthia has that are related to Chinese New Year's and good fortune. So we're going to start with our easiest ones that we all are most familiar with in the Asian community, which are lucky bamboo.
So when you're buying it, of course, you want to look for the really thick stem. And of course, roots. Roots are more important than the amount of leaf growing.
And is there any reason why we would look for a thicker stem?
Just better established, a more mature cutting.
Okay.
So it's got more juice in it to throw out those roots and leaves.
Perfect. And how would you suggest? Would you suggest people put them in soil, put them in water?
So I know a lot of people put them in water, more as a decorative, great in the bathroom or whatever. But honestly, if you put them in soil, they'll get more nutrients and they're much happier and healthier. Yeah.
And it's really popular in Chinese culture because the lucky bamboo is known to be the fu gui zhu, which basically means rank and wealth, and the bamboo. So one of the plants we've always had in our house.
It's a very tolerant plant. It'll take a lot of abuse. It likes to be grown a bit more on the dry side. So water it like once a month. It can go in a lower light area, which is nice because there's a lot of plants that won't tolerate that. This one will.
And the idea for this plant is, again, going back to wealth and prosperity, but it's because of that smooth, round leaf that the ZZ plant is so popular with Asians. And one of the things I love about ZZ plants is just the way they grow. And correct me if I'm wrong, Cynthia. They generally pull a new shoot, but the whole shoot has leaves that kind of unfurl at the same time.
Yeah,
right?
that's right. I mean, you can almost see it here. But yeah, the new shoot almost looks like an asparagus shoot.
Yes, that's right.
Right?
That's it. And it's so beautiful. It's kind of got this magnificent unfurling that happens because there's multiple leaves that come out at the same time. Cynthia's got these little small jade plants. And again, Cynthia, are they hard to take care of?
Jade is another really easy plant to take care of. So even though it's succulent, I wouldn't put it in direct sun, but it does like light. Just give it indirect. Water it once every 2 weeks thereabouts. Let the soil dry out completely in between waterings. These guys, they're a moderate grower. They're not really fast, but they're not really slow either. And when they reach sizes, big sizes, they're worth a lot of money. So you see these in families' homes where they've passed them down from generation to generation because they are a very long-lived plant.
And jade plants are really well known because, again, they have that smooth, rubbery leaf, which is a very common trend with Chinese culture and feng shui. For some reason, there's this connection between smooth and round rubbery plants because it kind of reminds them of money and wealth, and just growth in general, which is nice.
So the plant bar actually gets used a lot in here, and the way it works is the pricing on this glass includes all of your plants, all your soils, your rocks, your mosses over behind you, sand, wood. So you can come in, grab yourself a coffee or tea, come sit at the bar, choose your glass. There's somebody working here that'll walk you through putting it all together. So you can do terrariums, you can do succulent dishes, kokodamas, Zen gardens, all sorts of wonderful things.
That is amazing. I didn't even know that. I mean, what a great present if you're looking for a Chinese New Year's present for a mom and a grandma. That would be amazing.
Absolutely.
Everything's done. Bonsai trees are a staple in almost every Asian household. Again, it's one of those plants I always see. Can you go through the different types that you've got in the store right now?
Absolutely. So this is a ginseng bonsai. You can always tell the ginseng because it has that really thick gnarled root like ginseng does. This is just a smaller version. This is what they call Fukian tea, as is this nice big one over here. And then we've got the junipers.
So for those that have never had a bonsai, are they hard to take care of? Do they need to be placed in a certain place?
There's lots of different levels. I mean, bonsai is really just a term used for dwarfing any kind of tree. So, of course, some trees are going to be a bit more challenging than others. And I know a lot of people really think the juniper is a good one to start with, but honestly, it's kind of a hard one because they need that cold period during the winter. And in a person's house, you usually don't have. So if you've got a cold window, you can put it near the cold window and kind of let it have that bit of a cold period in between growing. But of them all, I really think the Fukian tree is the easiest of them all.
And they're lovely. The Fukian tree actually originates from the Yunnan in Sichuan province, and it's really well known to be a plant which is known for its courage and heart. And it's just the way the plant, the tree itself is so hardy, I think, that it's taken on this feeling. Ginseng bonsais are actually really popular in households because they bring the sense of growth and fertility. Sounds a little crazy, but yes, if you want children, this is the plant for you, apparently. And then junipers alone are really known for their health and their longevity.
So this is the Chinese money plant. I love this plant, and it'll get fairly tall, and it just keeps throwing these funny leaves off, and it just looks so alien as it gets older.
Fairly easy to take care of, right?
Yes, yes. So pretty much the same as all your other tropicals. You want to put it in indirect light. East windows are actually good for pretty near everything.
Okay.
So don't put a saucer under it and water it and let the saucer fill up and not drain. So you always want to get rid of that excess water. Best way is always touch the soil to know when to water next. Let them go moist, but not completely dry.
And they have like this, it's hard to explain to you guys on the camera, but they've got this really neat kind of texture to the leaves. They are a little bit on the thicker side. And of course, for the Asian community, it looks like a coin. So it essentially is the Chinese money plant. It looks like money. And they grow, I'll show you guys, kind of through the middle there. And they just pop up, and then you just get these leaves that shoot out. And it's super amazing.
So they're little pitcher plants, and they're awesome because they'll eat your fungus gnats without you spraying everything on them, on your plants. They grow these little pitchers, and right at the lip, the little fruit flies come over and they're attracted to it because they can smell the perfume that the plant gives off, and they want that nectar. But it's very slippery. They slip, they fall down inside, but inside this plant is full of digestive fluids, and it just snacks on them. And it's very effective. We use them in the store. We just move them around the store. And as you can see, we don't really have a fungus gnat problem with it. So easy to take care of. So many different varieties and colors. So these guys, they'll take so much abuse again. Water them. Let them get fairly dry in between waterings before you water again. Don't let them sit in water. And they'll grow in a closet. They'll grow anywhere.
And these, like, this is the jade, right? The jade pothos. Really popular again with the Asian community.
This is the gold, where you see the gold streaks. This is the neon.
I particularly love the neon just for its coloring. Like, it's just such a bright kind of yellow green.
My favorite is the Brazil.
Yes.
I just love that streak going through.
And then I know that she's got a couple marbles at the bottom, and they've got this one that isn't as well known in the Chinese community, but I really like it because it's called the Pearls and Jade.
Yeah.
And it just has that lovely speckling on it, which is just so lovely.
And it's a nice contrast with your other plants.
And so for the Chinese community, they're really well known because they go back to that golden pothos with the wealth and prosperity. Cynthia and the store has graciously donated to the event. Thank you so much. So there's a gift card, guys, that will either go into the plant auction or our main auction as a gift that will go to. So if you're looking for plants, this is the place to go. Thank you so much for having us, Cynthia, today.
Thank you.
And get on in and get your plants.